Hi everybody, this is Stephen Pugh of the City and Guilds course. We're going to be furthering the videos. We've got up to number 49, video number 49, and this is the introduction to level 3 site carpentry and joinery for the City and Guilds. It's based upon the City and Guilds books. And in this book, interestingly, we don't have the 103 or the 204 or the 206. We have just chapter numbers. So we have chapter 1, chapter 2, right through to chapter 7. Now I'm going to talk through these chapters with you, and we're going to explain just an overall introduction as to the level 3 site carpentry and joinery course. Now, chapter 1 is, as most of the courses are, health and safety and welfare in construction. Now, what's interesting about all these three books is that if you look at the chapters for health and safety and welfare in construction in each of the books, you'll find that all the pages are identical. Okay, now we know that in some of the later versions of this book, there's a few additions put in, but they're very minor additions, and generally speaking, health and safety and welfare are identical right across all of the levels, level 1, level 2 and level 3. Even the pages themselves are actually identical. Now, right at the very beginning of these videos, we dealt with health and safety very thoroughly, went through every aspect of health and safety and welfare. And if you're in level 3 and you want to have a refresher to go back, then go right back to the very beginning. You'll find that there's 5 videos dealing with health and safety and welfare right at the very beginning. This would be video number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So those are the health and safety videos. Now, as you were coming through this course, level 1 and level 2, you came across another chapter called Principles of Building. Okay, building construction, the principles of building construction. Now, what this dealt with is things like the shape of buildings, the overall plan of a building, how things are basically made with a foundation, with walls, with floors and with a roof. And it went through in quite good detail about the principles of building today. Now, in level 3, we have a chapter, and it sounds similar, but it's actually quite different. It's called The Principles of Organising, Planning and Pricing Construction Work. Let me just go through those 3 with you. First of all, the principles of organising. So when a person reaches level 3 in their site carpentry and joinery course, it's quite likely that at that level that you would be interested, and you might even be required to be the person that does the organizing at some level. It may be that you're organizing a pair of you, maybe that you're organizing a small team, or you might even be organizing quite a large team. You might be in charge of a small building site. Okay, now we know that this is only site carpentry and joinery, but it's amazing what responsibilities you might have to organize the work. So there's a fairly large section on organizing. There's another section on planning, okay, and then there's another section on pricing. Very often when people get to level 3, they are either well rooted in a building firm of their own or a joinery manufacturing company, or they might even be self-employed. Whatever level and whatever position you're going to find yourself in, it's going to be important for you to understand the principles of pricing construction work. So that's the principles of organizing, planning and pricing construction work. Now, chapter 3, okay, is carry out first fix roofing and stairs. Now, you might look at that and think, well, we did that in level 2. Yes, I know. At level 2, you did the basic first fixing, roofing and stairs. However, This is quite a step up in complexity. Now we're going to be talking about very complex roofing. You're now going to be talking about stairs that are not just a straight flight, but they might be a dog leg, they may be winders, they may be open newel stairs. There's lots of varieties of complexity in both roofing and in stairs. So that's the particular point at this stage, is that the work that you're going to be doing at this advanced level is more advanced. Now the chapter 4 is called Carry Out Second Fixing, Double Doors and Mouldings. Now mouldings, we all know what mouldings is. Mouldings is referring to architrave and skirting. They call it mouldings today. Sometimes they call it trim. But the important thing is that you can see that in this particular time, it's second fixing. Okay, it's second fixing, but notice it says double doors. Now in level 2, you learned how to hang doors, single doors of all the different varieties. But now you're going to step up again to hang double doors, and you'll also be using complex ironmongery and also complex fittings. Okay, so you might have door closers, specialized door closers. Now in chapter 5 is the setup and use of fixed and transportable machinery. So at this particular level, you will be required to understand and know how to practice using all of the main woodworking machinery, whether it's fixed to the floor, whether it's bolted down in a workshop, or whether it's temporary and is able to be moved about. You will need to have very extensive training on using woodworking machinery. You'll know how to service it, you'll know what are the regulations, you'll know all about the safety features, you'll know about maintenance, you'll know about sharpening some of the equipment. So it's quite an extensive chapter. All of this is quite advanced. Okay, most carpenters would not necessarily know a lot about these things, and certainly it's quite an in-depth course. Now when you get to chapter 6, it's all about the manufacture of shaped doors and frames. Now you may be saying, what's a shaped door and frame? Well, you've heard of a door that goes up and has a circular top. Okay, but you might have a door that also has a bow front. So it's circular and it has a bow. So it's more like a sort of a cove. Okay, now this is all about how you manufacture the frames and the doors for that sort of work. And of course there will be other things that will come into it. There'll be the manufacture of specialized window frames. They may be bow or bay windows. They might be circular headed, or they might be Gothic headed. So there's lots of very, very interesting complications. Okay, and that's a great chapter. You will be absolutely amazed as to how complex some of these things can be. Now, no one's expecting you to be able to go straight into it and do everything, no. But what you will have is you will have available to you the teaching and the necessary insights to be able to comprehend and attempt some of these difficult operations. And then chapter 7. If that doesn't get complicated enough, we're in chapter 7, and the chapter 7 is all about the manufacture of stairs. But it's not just stairs, it's stairs with turns. So these may be stairs that go up onto a landing and turn and go up again, or they might be up onto a landing that turns a full width and goes up again. It may be stairs that go up on with lots of kite steps going up around a circle. Or it might even be geometric stairs, that is stairs that just go up in a spiral. Okay, now all of this is absolutely fascinating, and you wouldn't really be able to go straight into it. But if you were working in an environment in which those things were able to be done, then you need to be quite well taught and quite well conversant with all of the words and the terms and the concepts about making this complex joinery. Now we're also going to be including in our notes a trade dictionary. When you get to that level of complexity, there's lots of words which are really quite unique to the level in which you're working. So we're going to include that. So chapter 1 then is health and safety. We're not going to go through that again. Okay, we'll let you go back to level 1 or 2 for that. But chapter 2, we're going to commence with the principles of organizing, planning and pricing construction work. This is much more detailed development of previous studies. Now you will have done some of these things in principles of building, but now we're going to be stepping up and we're going to be talking about how the organization of that work is done, how it is planned, and how it is priced. Now previously we dealt with the theory of building construction, but now it's all about being in charge. It's all about being able to make sure things happen at the right time and in the right way, and also being able to make sure that the price for work is correct so that ultimately you get paid. So this is quite a long introduction. I hope this isn't putting you off. This is a tremendous opportunity to learn some wonderful stuff. This is the top level in carpentry and joinery and in site work. Good. We look forward to seeing you on our next video, which is going to be video number 50, where we're going to begin with the subject of drawings and all the different types and all the information related to them. So we look forward to catching up with you on our next video. Have a great day. Bye for now.